Well, hello there. I'm here with a spooky story for you all about a train. So, this is an old tale that's been told by many people in Ireland, and it goes by a few different names. But it's always about the same thing, a train that travels during the night from this world to the next. At midnight, when the clock strikes 12, a train leaves the mortal realm. It could be a task or a chore that they just couldn't bring themselves to do, or it could be a crime that they committed and they haven't made amends for it yet. Whatever it is, these unfinished tasks bind their souls to the physical world and prevent them from passing over into the next one, and travels through the night to the fairy realm, taking the souls of those who have died during the year with it. But that's neither here nor there. Now, I don't know whether or not these photos are real or fake, but there's no denying that there's something strange going on in them. In the pictures, you can see what looks like a steam engine, but there are no people on board, and the carriages seem to be floating above the tracks. It's like the train isn't touching the ground. Now, I don't know about you, but that's pretty freaky. When the clock strikes midnight, the veil between the worlds is at its thinnest and the train can pass through it with relative ease. The original railway line was shut down decades ago, and there is no reason why a train should be running along it in the middle of the night. And while you're at it, why not stay tuned for more stories like this one? Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye. On this journey, the spirits are free to return home to the fairy realm and finally move on from this world. Those who ride the midnight train are said to find peace at last and are welcomed back to the land of the fairies where they belong. The train travels along the old railway lines that were constructed during the famine when so many people died. It carries the spirits of those who perished during that terrible time, as well as any other poor souls who happen to die throughout the rest of the year. And it's said that if you hear the train whistle in the middle of the night, it means somebody close to you has died or is going to die soon. And I've heard this story told a few different ways, but they all go like this. Now, most versions of the story say that the train only comes for those whose souls are trapped here on Earth because of something they have left unfinished. But every year on New Year's Eve, the train comes to collect them. Now, some tellings of the legend say that the train doesn't just take the souls with it, it brings them back as well. That is, it brings the bodies of those who have died during the year and buries them in the fairy realm. This might seem like a grim detail, but it was actually quite common in folklore for the fairies to be associated with death and the afterlife. In fact, the fairies were often seen as the guardians of the dead. It was believed that they would take the souls of those who died peacefully and bring them to the fairy realm to live as fairies themselves. So it makes sense that this story would include the fairies taking the bodies of the dead with them. Of course, it's not always good to have the fairies messing about with your corpse, as anyone who's played The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask can attest to. Some people even claim that the midnight train is still running today, and there are supposed to be photographs to prove it. And it gets even weirder because there have also been cases of people hearing the whistle of the train, even though no one is supposed to be on it anymore. Well, what do you think? Is there any truth to this story? Let me know in the comments below.